Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. So, Virgil Ortiz Jr. Unanimously outpoints Israil Madrimov. Two of the judges had it 115, 113. One had it 117, 111, which was too wide for me. I thought this could have been a draw because I think Madrimov was pinching rounds. And I actually thought Madrimov won the last two rounds, the 11th and the 12th. But there's no doubt that Ortiz had the heavier hands. He was the hunter. He was the guy moving forward. This can be, stylistically, this was purely about one guy who had a lot of power, was going to move forward, was going to have to corner the opponent, work the body probably, to sort of slow him down. He was going to have to, sort of stand on his feet and play the xylophone on his ribs, in one of them situations. And the other guy, Madrimov, all feints, all movement. But it was effective. For me, it was effective. First 6 rounds, he was very, very effective, Madrimov. And this is a 12-round fight. Like I say, 117, 111 is way too wide for me. 115, 113 for Ortiz, just about live with that. But if you'd said a draw, or if you said Madrimov edged it by a point, I would not have a problem with that. I really wouldn't. Because Ortiz Jr., for the first 3 rounds, very, very difficult to pin Madrimov down. He was moving forward with intent, but not really able to land more than single punches. Then in the 4th round, he hinted at getting closer, and in the 5th round, he did get close. That was his best round so far. 6th round, I thought Madrimov sort of came back into it a little bit, but then the 7th, I thought Ortiz, I gave that one to Ortiz, I think. And then 8, 9, 10, I think I gave those to Ortiz as well. But then the final 2 rounds where I thought, okay, this is really up for grabs. I thought, we're going to have to see, the fight is there to be won in the last 2 rounds. And like I say, I thought Madrimov won them. I certainly thought he won the 11th. The 12th, a bit closer. But I thought Madrimov just edged it. But I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, well, Ortiz Jr. was the one going forward. He was the one with the heavier hands. He was the guy looking to win the fight, looking to take the fight by the scruff of the neck and win it convincingly, whereas Madrimov was looking to, slip and slide and pop. And it was weird because in rounds 9, 10 and 11, I think Madrimov had run out of gas. He was forced to stand and fight. He was forced to stand and fight Ortiz's fight. But Madrimov was actually letting it hang out, and he was doing well. He was fighting Ortiz at his own game and doing pretty damn well. And I just thought he may have pinched it in those rounds, with the last 3 rounds. But are people going to have sympathy for him? No, because for at least the first half of the fight, probably the first maybe 8 rounds, he was moving so much, and people don't want to see that. So they're always going to side with the person that looks the more exciting, the guy that looks like he wants to fight more rather than box. And whereas I keep saying in my videos, that being on the back foot, you can box aggressively on the back foot, Madrimov did do too much running. He did. There was one, I can't remember which round it was, one of the middle rounds maybe, where Ortiz got Madrimov in the corner, maybe about the 5th round, I don't know. And he was like, okay, I'm going to unload now. And Madrimov did a sort of Harold Graham and slid round the side and grabbed him grabbed him from behind, hugged him. That ain't going to win you points. That's not going to win you any friends. Now, I'm the type of person who thinks, well, a guy can stink the joint out, but if he's winning, he's winning. I'm not going to sort of deliberately vote against the guy in rounds because he's not the more entertaining of the 2 fighters. It's up to the other guy to, like I say, trap him, wear him down. And to a large extent in the middle rounds, Ortiz did that. Maybe from the 5th round to the 8th, Ortiz was doing that. And I understand why the judges gave it to him, although one of those cards was way too wide for me. But it was one of those fights, matador bull, cat and mouse, whatever you want to call it, that you wouldn't want to see it again. You know what I mean? It was just too... there just wasn't a lot going on. They just, the rounds were too repetitive. It was sort of rinse and repeat. The rounds were, too obvious in a sense. The game plans of both men were too obvious. There was no give and take. The pendulum wasn't swinging one way and then the other. But I wouldn't say I was bored watching it. And I don't have a problem with Ortiz winning it. I mean, I have a problem with that one card, but 115, 113 for Ortiz, go with that, And Ortiz, he now moves to, 23 wins. He's got 21 KOs, so we know he's heavy-handed. Madrimov is now 10-2-1. And he's lost his last two fights, Terence Crawford and VERGIL Ortiz Jr. I mean, those are two very good names, but he is 30. He's from Uzbekistan, Madrimov, and maybe he'll be invited back to a Riyadh card, but he's got to be more entertaining. VERGIL Ortiz Jr., he'll definitely come back. No problem with that at all. But he's 26, so he might not even be in his prime yet. And I think that poor performance or disappointing performance he had against Serhij Boachuk when he was on the floor twice. He was on the floor in the opening round, I think the 8th. And he only won a majority decision. I think he learned from that fight. Because you can sort of see with Ortiz how he can be beaten. But it's so much easier said than done. The problem for Madrimov is that he didn't have any variety. I say that, but then, like I said in the last quarter of the fight, he was letting his hands go. He was fighting the guy at his own game. But that was more out of the fact that he was, drained his energy, his legs were getting leaden, and he had to do it. There was no... Whenever you see lots and lots of movement, I always say that's a bad thing. I mean, Sonny Edwards used to do this all the time. That's why I picked Bam Rodriguez to beat him and Galal Yafai, because I thought, you're not going to... He doesn't seem to have a plan B. It's all movement and flash and dash and slip and slide and, feint this and feint that. And no. You need more than that, I think, at the elite level anyway. So Madrimov is you probably end up calling him a sort of B-plus level fighter, but Ortiz has the potential anyway to be an A fighter before the end of his career being over. He's got this WBC interim belt, which I don't think it means much. If he wants to win a proper world title, I don't see why he can't. But he's still in that learning process. And with Golden Boy behind him, he's going to have he's going to move forward, definitely, get other opportunities, and he will probably be on another Riyadh card. Madrimov, because he wasn't the most entertaining, and he has lost twice. Lost in Vegas to... no, he didn't. What am I talking about? He lost in... he lost to... was it Los Angeles? Was it Vegas or Los Angeles? He lost to Crawford, and then he's come over to Riyadh. He did have another performance in Riyadh because he won his title, his WBA title last year, about 10 months ago, against Magomed Kurbanov. He won that. That was a Riyadh card. But whether he'll come back now after that performance, which was very negative, maybe he kind of... Because it was a close fight and because he did stand and fight eventually, maybe he'll get invited back. I don't know. But this was a sort of, B- of a fight, should we say. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the cards as well. Do you share my opinion that this was much, much closer than that 117, 111 card? Or maybe you don't. Maybe you think that Ortiz Jr. deserved the wide card. Let me know what you think. Comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the like button. We have got more to come. Of course we have. It's February 22nd Riyadh card. It's probably going to go on forever, isn't it? It'll seem like that. But yeah, let me know what you think. And look out for some more vids later tonight. Much love. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.